And hello again, and welcome to today's Sugardale Charge Chat. I'm Scott Zurilla. Glad you are with us for this Inside the Bubble edition of the Charge Chat. And while I'm on the outside looking in, we're going to sneak inside and talk with the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, J.B. Bickerstaff. J.B., great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. How you doing?
No problem. Great to see you, too.
Hey, JB, all the talk about the bubble, of course, people think, well, it's the Cavaliers, but we want to talk about the Charge because you had some Charge players with you for the past week or so. How important was it for you to have as many Charge players as you could with the Cavaliers in the bubble?
It was huge for us. Not only their presence, but their familiarity with everything that's going on, their ability to help and make our team better. And I think that's that partnership, with the Charge and the Cavaliers that you need. You need to have that fluid relationship and trust. And the guys are, guys who have been committed to the Charge for a while and have spent some time with the Charge. So they're familiar with our coaching staff, and they've been with us in some of our training camps and things like that. So it was great for us to have those guys. And individually, the guys were awesome. In these circumstances when we're stuck, around each other, with no place to go, you want good guys around you. And, the 4 guys that were here working with us have been great to work with, and we've enjoyed every moment of it.
What did you see from them? Was there any kind of common thread where you would say, yeah, you could tell that they were teammates? Or in addition to that, were there any, maybe one guy that you saw that stood out from maybe what you saw from him last year in training camp?
Yeah, you can tell that they played together. You can tell that they were really well coached. We would do some drills and some breakdowns where we would do ball movement stuff, and the ball would just move naturally. They would find one another. They had that, they could give each other that look, and the guy would go back door and they would recognize and find it. So you could tell that they had spent time together. Like I said, it's fun to watch them play because they played the game the right way. And I think each of them individually, has shown improvement over time. And showed an ability to contribute. You think about Marquise has been great running the floor, protecting the rim, finishing and rebounding. Vince has been versatile, making shots. Dom has been great defensively and making shots. And Levi, he plays at that steady pace, but he figures out a way to get the job done on both ends of the floor. So we've been impressed with all of them. We appreciate them coming and taking the time to participate with us.
Now, you just told me what you saw of the guys, but going in, if you can go back to the beginning, were you looking for anything particular from them, same as what you were looking for from the Cavaliers, a little bit different, a little bit same, anything particular from them?
Well, I think, it's all the same, and I think, having conversations with Nate, we want to be a mirror, a reflection of one another in the way we play. And two of the things that we talk about, with our group is we want to be the most competitive team on the floor. We want to be the most unselfish team on the floor. So those were our expectations for everybody stepping on the floor. And those guys lived up to it. They were, getting after it defensively, diving on the floor, taking charges, and then sharing the ball on the offensive end of the floor too. So, those are our expectations, and they lived up to it for sure.
Coach, you mentioned Nate Ranking, of course, the head coach of the Charge and his staff. You also have Sam Jones as part of your player development staff, who was an assistant in Canton. Talk about what they've been able to do. Pretty much doing their job, which is getting the guys ready to play for the Cavaliers. Talk about what they've done for you.
Yeah, the awesome part about it is they've been in every meeting that we've had, even since the the season ended for us and we started our coaches meetings and our Zoom meetings that we were doing. They were all involved in all of those. So, we had projects that we were working on, games that we were watching and things like that, and they were a part of it. So they have a real high-level understanding of what we're trying to do, how we're trying to play, and how we plan on getting there. So, it's easy for them to coach up the guys, and they were able to participate and coach not only the Charge players, but they could teach Darius and Colin and, Kevin Love and all those guys. So, we're fortunate that we have the relationship that we have, with our coaching staff. And again, it should be seamless, and that's what we're working for. And that's why, we spend a ton of time talking and figuring out. And I ask them a lot of questions. I want input from them because I trust their basketball IQ and the things that they've seen in their experiences. So it's been, again, can't say enough about, the continuity and how important it is to the Charge and the Cavaliers.
So would you say overall for this past week in the bubble that you got what you were looking for from the Charge players? And maybe what would you say that the bubble has done for those players?
I think we got more than what we were asking for, to be honest with you. There's the expectation of the basketball, right? But we've had to spend so much time together and getting to know one another and build real genuine relationships. There's been dinners, there's been team events, and one person in the wrong mood or not trying to do the right thing, could bring that event down or ruin it for everybody. But all those guys that you mentioned, lifted up those moments. You know what I mean? Their personalities are infectious. You want to be around them. I got to know them better than I had in the past because we got to spend all this time together. So I think we got more than we were expecting from the beginning.
How about moving forward? It's one thing when you're in the middle of the bubble, you can work on drills and all sorts of things. But now that pretty much the bubble is over, what have you talked to the Charge players about taking the next step in preparation for the next NBA and G League season, whenever that may be?
Right. I think that's kind of the tough part is because so much is up in the air. And there's so many rules in place as what we can do. But wherever the guys go, whether they stay here in Cleveland or they go back to their home, there's things that we've laid the groundwork for that they can continue to work on. There's drills that we've put in place. There's systematic things that we've put in place that they can take with them and go home and get better at. So I think that's kind of where it is for all of our guys is making sure that they continue to build on the things that we've done here, again, with the uncertainty and not knowing when we're all going to be able to be back together again, but individually taking that responsibility so that when we do get back together, you're not left behind.
And JB, one of the great things about when you talk about getting back together, it isn't like some teams in the G League who are here and their parent club is there. You're only an hour apart, so that continuity and that keeping everybody close together, it's got to be a great advantage for you.
It definitely is. The movement, the back and forth is so accessible, right? For our coaching staff to get up here just to have a coaches meeting is easy. We kid those guys, but it's not that bad of a drive to get up to, the CCC. So, it makes it, I think we can get a lot more out of our relationship with our G League team than, places who are further away. Because you just seem to, you miss that personal, person-to-person contact and communication when you're not together. So, again, we're extremely fortunate that our team is so close. I think it'll make us closer as an organization and better as a group.
JB, I know that during the NBA season, you're busy with games, practices, shoot-arounds, travel. I get it. But the Charge themselves last year had a terrific season, ready to run right past most wins in a season. They qualified for the postseason, the number 2 seed. It's nice to have a G League team, but I'm sure it's very nice to have a successful G League team as well.
For sure. And, without sacrificing what, things that we value. Like we said, like Nate and I, we had those conversations about what's important to our organization, the character of the people that are on the team, how the team plays together and how they compete together. And they were able to do that and be successful. And it's one thing that I would say about, our organization is, the back and forth for our guys, the guys we signed on 10 days and then, that's difficult for a coach. But at the same time, I think it's awesome for the guys to get NBA experience, and be taken care of in that way. So then, they still go and they play with the G League and, they find success in the win column as well. And it says a lot because the guys want to keep coming back. There's guys who come back year after year. So it says a lot about the organization. It says a lot about the Charge staff and, the people that are there as well.
JB, I'll let you go with this because we're running out of time, but you pretty much have answered the question. But just overall, using the G League as a tool, I think really has become so beneficial, not only to the NBA, but especially the Cavaliers as a whole.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think there's more to come. We're in discussions of what we're going to be able to do in the future. Again, trying to find new ways where we can be forward thinking and not just continue to do the same things that we've done in the past, and building that relationship and, really having some fun with it, some experimenting and those types of things, but trying to figure out a way where we can make it better for, our Charge fans, for our individual players, and then, if we do have two ways and assign guys as well. So we're in the process of working those things out and thinking about the future for sure.
Well, JB, congratulations on a successful run in the bubble. Know you're busy, got a lot of work whenever that next season comes around. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward. I know I speak for everybody. Look forward to seeing you at another game at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse here real soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, and we can't wait.
No, you can't. Thanks, JB, and thanks
you.
to all of our viewers for watching us here on today's Sugardale Charge Chat.